cannot wait.
A new Matlock and Elsbeth, CBS Thursday starting 9/8 Central and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Skies will generally be partly cloudy for tonight and weather looking pretty tranquil into the weekend. We'll have that complete forecast coming up.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, more Trump tariffs went into effect today as the president continues his efforts to downsize the government. Plus, we head downstate to hear what kind of impact these tariffs are expected to have on the Michigan auto industry. And inflation is going down, according to the latest report. It's the first time in about 4 months. We'll have the details. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Checking out Marquette for Thursday, heading to the downside of the week. Noticeably milder. Good news here. After a cold start, we'll be getting into the mid to upper 40s by later on in the afternoon. Easterly wind does make temperatures a little tricky along the lake shore there, as it will be much cooler coming off that colder lake. And things look pretty good. Partly cloudy for the evening hours. Make it into the mid 50s, though, as you head along the Wisconsin border. The rest of the forecast coming up later in the show. Kevin?
Tom, thank you. Billions of dollars worth of American-made goods are now being targeted for increased tariffs in retaliation for new taxes President Trump instituted on foreign-made steel and aluminum. Erica Brown has more details from the White House.
President Trump issued a warning to countries placing new tariffs on American-made goods.
We're going to be doing reciprocal tariffs, so whatever they charge us, we're charging them. Nobody can complain about that.
Overnight, the U.S. imposed 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports. In response, the European Union and Canada announced retaliatory tariffs of their own. The EU is targeting $28 billion worth of American goods, including beef, bourbon, motorcycles, and jeans, while Canada is taxing more than $20 billion worth of products, including steel, computers and servers, and cast iron goods. Canada says it's following a dollar-for-dollar approach to new tariffs.
Our sole focus is to stand up for Canadian interests, Canadian jobs, and Canadian workers.
While President Trump imposes new tariffs on key trading partners, he is also pushing for steeper cuts to U.S. government agencies that he says are bloated and need to be slashed.
Department of Education's, maybe more so than any other place, has a lot of people that can be cut.
The Trump administration announced plans to fire more than 1,300 Education Department employees last night, a first step in the president's effort to dismantle the agency.
Donald Trump and Elon Musk do not have the right to shut down the Department of Education. It was created by Congress. Only Congress has that right.
The department's main responsibilities include financial assistance to low-income schools, support for students with disabilities, civil rights oversight, and federal student loans and grants.
Beginning April 11th, Canadians seeking to spend more than 30 days inside the U.S. will be required to register with U.S. immigration officials. With new Trump tariffs taking effect today, we're hearing about the impacts expected to be felt in Michigan. Jordan Burroughs takes us to Detroit.
As President Trump's tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum take place today, we are talking to Detroiters about how they feel on this. They told us they feel concerned about the price that they'll have to pay for goods. Many we spoke to who didn't want to go on camera contractors told us they said this will be a tough adjustment.
President Trump has promised this will help create U.S. factory jobs and transform global e-commerce. His moves, based off a February directive, are part of a broader effort to disrupt and transform global commerce. This comes at a time when his seesawing tariff threats are jolting the stock market and raising fears of an economic shutdown, increased inflation, and even a global trade war. While President Trump's tariffs could help steel and aluminum plants in the U.S., they could raise prices for the manufacturers that use the metals as raw materials. The move has support from many domestic steel and aluminum makers, but the head of the Can Manufacturers Institute says consumers will eventually take a hit.
The impacts will probably be felt in the next 60 to 90 days as we buy more steel and aluminum, and as those containers are filled with food and beverages.
Tariffs are going to be throwing off a lot of money to this country, and we've been ripped off for years by other countries.
The president has separate tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China, with plans to also tax imports from the European Union, Brazil, and South Korea by charging reciprocal rates starting April 2nd.
The tariffs decision came as Canada decided to suspend its 25% surcharge on electricity to the U.S.
Michigan Republicans are working to amend the Constitution and change documents needed to register to vote. House Joint Resolution B works like the Federal SAVE Act to require proof of citizenship when you register. This would mean to register or update your registration, you would have to provide a passport or birth certificate. Republicans hope it would keep non-citizens from voting, but Democrats are worried it could be expensive and detrimental for actual eligible Michigan voters.
So-called proof of citizenship laws like these are only successful at three things: blocking the right to vote, forcing citizens to pay for the right to vote, and fostering more chaos and confusion.
If passed, the changes will be sent to Michigan voters for a final decision. The Marquette Township Board is waiting until next Wednesday to discuss a proposed housing development in the works for 2 years. The board is considering selling a 5-acre parcel at the corner of Brookton Road and County Road 492. The agreed upon price of the land is $500,000, which will potentially make way for 48 homes on the site. Tonight, the board found errors and omissions in the purchase agreement submitted by the buyer, Renovare Marquette LLC. The board voted to have the township attorney revise the purchase agreement.
There's just too many unanswered questions that I figured the board had, and I want to make sure they have the information they need to make a good decision.
Also in need of further discussion is the proposed closing date on the purchase, brownfield funding, and the details of any TIF financing. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy is holding a 2-day training conference this week at NMU's Northern Center. Topics include environmental emergency responses for UP communities, drinking water protection, floodplain regulations, and underground storage. Over 265 people registered for this year and will be given the resources to train in a personal setting compared to the department's typical route with these sessions.
Offers a lot of online training, but this creates an opportunity for the general public and businesses, local officials to meet with our staff one-on-one.
The conference will start its workshop sessions tomorrow morning. It's the first time in 4 months that inflation has slowed, but many economists warn the news could be short-lived. Jen Sullivan explains what these numbers all mean for your wallet.
Inflation fell for the first time in months, according to a federal report released Wednesday. The Consumer Price Index measures price changes for a variety of goods and services.
This month was really the first progress we'd seen toward moving inflation down closer to that 2%.
Greg McBride with Bankrate says the Federal Reserve wants to see inflation closer to 2% before dropping interest rates. And according to this latest report, inflation is at 2.8% for 12 months ending in February. But McBride warns this good news could be short-lived.
With tariffs looming, that adds an upside risk to inflation in the months ahead.
President Donald Trump announced tariffs on imports from 3 of America's largest trade partners, China, Canada, and Mexico, as well as 25% taxes on all steel and aluminum imports. And Wednesday, Canada announcing retaliatory tariffs of 25% on billions of dollars worth of American goods.
It's not just the imported items that are susceptible to price increases. Domestic producers, if they're facing less price competition from foreign competitors, they're likely to boost their prices too.
All of this comes as the cost of living is already high for many Americans. And this latest report shows shelter prices, which measures housing costs, went up 0.3% last month.
The pressure on household budgets has been really unrelenting.
Overall, food prices went up 0.2%. Egg prices shot up 10.4% in February, the biggest jump. Prices also up for beef and meats, poultry, fish, as well as cereal and bakery products. The good news is gas prices dipped 1% last month.
Tom DeVecchio gives us your first warning weather forecast when we come back. Plus, the mission to bring home 2 astronauts stranded in space is paused until tomorrow. And an Australian man is released from the hospital after receiving the first ever artificial heart. We'll hear about the new technology, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Shop hundreds of lazy boys at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Kick back in comfort in an industry-leading recliner. Choose from all fabrics, colors, and sizes with prices starting as low as $4.99 plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture in Houghton today.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go. 3, 2. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget,
Did you know taking Zysol at night relieves allergies while you sleep? So you wake refreshed for a more productive day. Get 24-hour continuous relief that does not fade. Be wise all, take Zysol at night.
Search for a really strong glue that's clear.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Clear glue. Clear Gorilla Glue.
Of course. Gorilla Glue strength in a crystal clear formula. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
What's bothering Archie?
Politics. What the Supreme Court says ain't got nothing to do with the law.
Zucchini.
What do you call this?
Zucchini.
Looks like a cooked pickle. How to raise children. Get out of here!
Sexual freedom.
What kind of a problem have they got?
It's sexual.
Sheesh.
Door cat.
Goldfish. Come on now, I draw the line on goldfish.
See what's bothering Archie.
All in the Family, Sundays from 8 to 10 on WZMQ Me TV.
Who will be there when the final whistle blows or the final votes have been cast? Will you? Start a career in the broadcasting industry. Be there. Go to BeThereMichigan.com.
Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Tom DeVecchio.
Checking out the headlines here as we head on through the balance of the night and into the next couple of days. We're going to get generally milder weather after some chilly hits here, and pretty dry as well through Friday. Unfortunately, it may not be really clear. We got that lunar eclipse coming up on Thursday night. Maybe kind of tough to see. We'll see about that. And the weekend, kind of wet. Saturday definitely looks wet, and we'll get some snow showers, maybe a light accumulation as we head towards Sunday. As kids go to school tomorrow, though, don't have to worry about precip here. Cold start here. Hat, coat, and gloves certainly needed for the kids as they go to school, with temperatures, starting out in the 20s, but a noticeable uptick in temperatures, might even double up here, getting well into the mid-40s at least as the kids go home in the afternoon. And we should see a little bit of sunshine as well for the day. Now we do have, of course, things going on in the night sky. Not tonight, but Thursday night, where we're going to see that lunar eclipse, the Earth's shadow here. Things begin with the darkening of the moon, 1:47 a.m., so about 10 minutes before 2 a.m., you start to see it there. And then it gets to total eclipse. That's when that rust-colored red starts to show about 2:30 in the morning, reaching total max here by 3, and then ending the total eclipse part, the red part, at 3:30, and then goes back to a darkened moon. And we have a full moon here, so we have a great setup for the lunar eclipse. And then we end that eclipse a little after 5 a.m. in the morning. And the next total lunar eclipse had a mistake yesterday. The next one is indeed in September, but we won't see it here in the U.S. The next lunar eclipse for the U.S. About a year from now, a little less than a year, March 3rd, 2026. So skies, unfortunately, it would be nice if we had the sky conditions tonight for it, but the clouds thicken up, and you can see, though, maybe if the models are correct, maybe we'll see some clearing. We'll have to wait and see on that. Temperatures will be in the 40s here, and we'll get well into the upper 40s as we head toward maybe even closer to 50 by Friday. So skies becoming partly cloudy for tonight, partly sunny for tomorrow. Mid-40s here in Marquette with the wind coming off the lake. Everyone else away from the lake shore, as you can see, getting closer to 50 to 55 degrees. So a good-looking day. Friday also looking nice, though we will have a decent amount of clouds. Saturday does look wet. Definitely mild, though. Cold hit for Sunday. As the front goes by, we'll get some snow showers and maybe a light accumulation. St. Patrick's Day looks good if you have any plans for the day. Tuesday also looking good, and a little bit of wet snow possible by Wednesday.
Tom, thanks again. Due to a ground system hydraulics issue, SpaceX scrubbed Wednesday night's launch of a Crew 10 mission that would have allowed for the return of 2 astronauts who remain stuck on the International Space Station. Danny Bacchus reports from Los Angeles.
100 launch scrub.
Less than an hour before it was set to blast off, a SpaceX Crew Dragon flight to the International Space Station was postponed. Despite clear skies around NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, the launch was scrubbed because of an issue with ground equipment. Veteran NASA astronaut Ann McClain is the mission's commander, with crewmates from the U.S., Japan, and Russia. Officials say the next opportunity for liftoff will be Thursday night if the issue is fixed by then.
Hey, you know, they were all dressed up, but now there's nowhere to go, right? The problem was with a ground system. You know, the Falcon 9 is held to its launch gantry by 2 kind of mechanical arms that reach around the top of the vehicle and kind of hold it in place. And before they fuel, you know, during the final moments of the countdown, they retract those arms to free the rocket. One of them wasn't working properly.
For Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, the delayed launch means their long-awaited return from the International Space Station could take a little longer. They have been there since June. Last week, they saw the bright side of the situation during a news conference.
We're here, we have a mission, we're just doing what we do every day, and you know, every day is interesting because we're up in space and it's a lot of fun. So I think the hardest part is, you know, having the folks on the ground have to not know exactly when we're coming back.
Wilmore and Williams' stay was extended after their ride home. A Boeing Starliner spacecraft developed propulsion problems during its test flight. NASA decided to return Starliner empty and keep Wilmore and Williams at the ISS. SpaceX founder Elon Musk offered to bring the pair home sooner, but NASA says that was never considered as a viable option.
President Trump and Musk have claimed Wilmore and Williams were abandoned for months in space by the Biden administration. Wilmore and Williams have said they don't feel abandoned or stuck in space and that it's just part of the job. An Australian man is the first in the world to leave the hospital with an artificial heart. The patient in his 40s received the titanium implant last November, and it kept him alive for 100 days until his donor heart became available earlier this month. The total artificial heart pumps blood to the body and lungs, replacing both ventricles of a failing heart. Bivacor, the American-Australian company behind the device, says the man, who doesn't want to be identified, had severe heart failure but is now recovering well.
Ultimately, that's what our goal is, to return these patients back to a normal quality of life, and he did return to a normal quality of life outside of the hospitals.
Doctors say it's a promising sign the device could be a long-term solution for people with heart failure, but it's still being tested and has not been approved yet for general use. High school playoffs continue. Mike Ludlam has the highlights from tonight's matchups coming up when we come back.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Awesome. I like it. I love it.
Now you can get 6.49 APR financing up to 72 months on any new Highlander or Grand Highlander, including hybrid models. Plus, get 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Chips or cracks, we've got your back. Brian's Auto Glass.
Introducing Brian's Auto Glass, now in Nagani. Your trusted experts in auto glass repair and replacement. When it comes to your vehicle's glass, trust the experts at Brian's Auto Glass. Our highly trained technicians handle everything from window replacements to fixing those annoying chips. At Brian's Auto Glass, we're committed to quality and precision, ensuring your safety on the road. Visit us today at our new location at 6 Industrial Drive in Nagani, or call us at 906-233-4527.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known secrets about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. Call right now for your free book. And as a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report. We researched over 1,200 annuities and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from financially strong insurers. Again, that's annuity do's and don'ts for baby boomers and a free annuity rate report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Supplies are limited. Call now.
Call 800-495-8670. That's 800-495-8670.
Good evening, everyone. The Gladstone Braves girls basketball team continues its march toward a regional title. Andy Cretan's girls face the Fremont Packers in a Division II regional final at Holton Lake. We'll pick up the action in quarter number 2. Gladstone is white. Lily Johnson grabs the rebound, looks down court, and finds Tiana Reynolds behind the defense for the layup. Gladstone is Bobcats on the scoreboard. Another Reynolds hoop made it 16-10. Just a few minutes go by, and then all kinds of good passing by the Braves leads to an Alexa Watoon bucket, 20-11 Gladstone. End of the half, after some Packers free throws, Lily Johnson goes coast to coast, 22-16 Gladstone at the intermission. Third quarter, Macy Hansen to Lily Johnson. She doesn't need much space nor time because that three-pointer is good. That's a 25-16 lead for Gladstone. One way to get Johnson mad, try to double team her on the press. Okay, threw that off the deflection and then threw the other three defenders for the layup. Braves up 11. They go on to win this one 49-31. Gladstone will take on Frankenmuth Tuesday in a quarterfinal at Shepherd. Frankenmuth defeated Portland 41-27. Division 3, we come back to the Upper Peninsula at Newberry for Manson and Calumet first quarter. And the Kersey Johnson basket there, she made 2 early to make it 4-0. For the Manton Rangers, Lillian Chittle drives nice pass to Mesa Hochwater for the basket. Calumet still up 4-2. Aubrey Hiller tries to dribble between defenders, and that didn't work. Allison Bajorn the steal, Jackie Keelan and the bounce pass to Bailey Strom for the basket. If you look in the background real quick, right there, the guy with the beard, that is Manton's coach, John Paul Katona, who is a Nagani grad. Adriana Sackett knocks down 1 for 3, and Manton back in business, trailing 7-5. Next, Hiller throws a long pass to Chittle for a very nice reverse layup. We're tied at 7. Calumet, though, starts getting the work. Bailey Strom to Millie Locust for 3. Copper Kings up 15-9 after 1. Second, it is Bailey Strom. Bajorn. Jess Anderson's going to get time to line up a 3 and knock that one down. Copper Kings led 39-22 at the half. Calumet wins the regional 64-39. The Copper Kings get Sanford Meridian Tuesday at Houghton Lake. Sanford Meridian defeated Roscommon 37-26. Let us go to Division 4 right here in Marquette between the Norway Knights and Ewan-Trail Creek Panthers. It was 61-35 ETC in the very first game of the season. This game, nothing like it. Lauren Adams to steal for Norway. She scores the first 4 points for the Knights and a 4-0 lead. Panthers tied the score. Then on an inbound, Abby Richter to Peyton Carlson, and Peyton painting pictures with that one. That's good for 3. Knights up 7-4. Next, it's Adams, Carlson, then Abby Richter's turn for 3. Knights galloped out to a 14-6 lead after 8 minutes. Carlson made a triple to make it 17-6 second quarter. Then ETC started figuring things out. Hannah Ferguson for the layup off the Ireland Nagishik pass. Norway still had the lead 24-21. Third quarter, we move right along, and Norway keeps scoring nicely, but things started going ETC's way in the fourth. A floater by Bree Bessinen ties the game at 38. Bree will come back with a drive between defenders, uses the left hand, keeps her balance, and puts it in with the foul. And the Panthers would not relinquish the lead. Then a steal and score by the freshman Bree Bessinen. She ended up with 25. Ewan-Trail Creek captures the regional title 54-44 over the Norway Knights.
it wasn't going to be an easy game. I've watched some of their recent games. Their defense is super tough. And just when you think you have, like, might get a lead, they hit another 3, right? So they were really hard to defend because if you help, they found that extra person, and they were sinking 3. So, yeah, it was tough to beat.
We ended up getting a lot of defense to offense that helped us to score a lot and gain some momentum and confidence to knock down shots.
And there's Trail Creek with the trophy, so they will be back in business next Tuesday. Scoreboard, please. And they will be taking on St. Ignace. So it'll be number 1 St. Ignace against number 2 Trail Creek from this year's Upper Peninsula Sports Writers and Sportscasters Association poll. As you can tell, the Saints had not too much trouble with Indian River Inland Lakes, 80-39. The game was supposed to be in Inland Lakes, then it got moved to St. Ignace. I guess they had some kind of a well problem in Indian River, so that's not fun. So St. Ignace and Trail Creek in a quarterfinal Tuesday at Gladstone. 2 NMU women's downhill skiers have earned second-team All-American honors at the United States Collegiate Ski Association Nationals in Bend, Oregon. Tommy Springer was 6th in the giant slalom, while Marquette's Ainsley Kirk was 11th in the GS. The Wildcat men were led by Kyan Hopke, who finished 5th to earn a first-team All-American honor. Marquette's Aaron Gerzlak also earned an All-American honor, finishing just outside the top 10 in 11th. Michigan Tech's Chase Piedla has been named the CCHA Defensive Defenseman of the Year. Piedla was also named to the All-CCHA First Team. The Howell, Michigan native skated in all 36 games and tallied 22 points with 7 goals and 15 assists. In CCHA games, Piedla scored 5 goals and added 8 assists for 13 points. Producing an even rating throughout the conference schedule, he recorded 55 shots on goal and blocked 25 in his own end with 2 power play tallies. Meanwhile, Michigan Tech's Elias Janssen has been named the CCHA Rookie of the Year. It's the 3rd year in a row a Tech player has received the award after Isaac Gordon in 2024 and Kyle Kukkonen in 2023. Janssen is a forward from Oulu, Finland. He played in all 36 games and led the Huskies with 12 goals. He added 11 assists for 23 points, which ranked 4th on the team. Turning to the Red Wings, we get to see some Red Wing action tonight against the Buffalo Sabres. And in the first period, it is going to be Simon Edvinsson, I believe, who was able to get that goal to tie the game at 1. Or Marco Kasper, I should say, with the deflection, his 11th of the year. Then, taking the lead, Alex DeBrincat will make several nice moves, zings that one home, his 30th, and it's 2-1 at 15:40. Then, on the power play, Patrick Kane snipers that one home to make it 3-1 Detroit. In the second period, Vladimir Tarasenko will come around the back of the net and flips that one home. His 9th, assisted Dylan Larkin. It's 4-2 Detroit. Patrick Kane on the power play again. And the Red Wings go on to win this one by the count of 7-3. And we should remind people that boys basketball semifinals take place at Michigan State over the next 2 days. In Division 3, Westwood's game will be at noon. And in Division 4, Forest Park will take on Wyoming Triunity Christian at 5:30 Eastern Time. And Kingsford's game will be Friday at 5:30 Eastern Time. The 2 longer named teams I haven't memorized yet, but I will by the time Thursday and Friday roll around. We'll be right back.
'19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
The multi-platinum rapper turned author, Big Sean, on the Jennifer Hudson Show.
It's amazing you do this. This is like giving real big Oprah after school vibes when I was young, you know.
And his words have power.
The mindset really changed how you approach the day.
Yes. Then the lovely Brenda Song.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6.
Okay.
Getting ready, we all have our routine. Finding an outfit. Fixing your hair. And all the other little touches. Gum, check. Keys, check. Phone, check. But of all the things you remember to bring with you, naloxone could be the most important. It can reverse an opioid overdose. You can get it without a prescription in most states, and it's really easy to use. If you or someone you know is at risk for opioid overdose, naloxone could save their life. Keep it on you and at home. For more information about naloxone, visit cdc.gov/stop-overdose.
What's bothering Archie?
Politics. What the Supreme Court says ain't got nothing to do with the law. How to raise children. Get out of here!
Door tap.
Goldfish. Come on now, I draw the line on goldfish.
See what's bothering Archie on All in the Family.
Sundays from 8 to 10 on WZMQ Me TV.
I'm Sophia Murphy at the Capitol in Lansing, only on WZMQ 19 News.
As you check things out for Futurecast here on this Wednesday night into Thursday morning, not bad here. Looking at a decent amount of sunshine. Now, clouds thicken up Thursday night or Thursday evening, and big question: will we get some clearing by the time the lunar eclipse reaches full here? And maybe, okay, no promises here. You know how models go, but maybe we will be able to have enough breakage in the clouds to see some of that lunar eclipse. High temperatures tomorrow, a late cooled 45 here in Marquette. Most everyone else, though, away from the lakeshore should get closer to 50 to 55. Everyone in the 50s on Friday. Looks wet for Saturday with some showers. Colder weather for Sunday with a good chance of some wet snow, maybe a light accumulation, but pretty decent weather for St. Patrick's Day and Tuesday as we head toward the beginning of next week. Kevin?
Tom, thank you. And finally tonight, police officers in Wisconsin had a hilarious call recently when they were dispatched to a home after a 4-year-old child called 911 on his own mother because he said she ate his ice cream. The Village of Mount Pleasant Police Department said officers had been dispatched on March 4th after they received the call saying his mom was being bad and needed to go to jail. When officers arrived, they discovered the child had called because he said his mom ate his ice cream, but that he changed his mind about wanting his mom to go to jail. Body cam footage shows the officers showing up to the home, no calling 911 unless it's a real emergency, okay? One officer could be heard telling the child. According to police, it is department policy to check on 911 calls regardless of how serious they may seem, and the officers came back the following day with frozen treats for the boy. Mike, anything else?
The Romulus Summit Academy North Dragons. That is the team Kingsport is playing. I'm still working on the nickname of the Westwood opponent.
All right, thanks, Mike. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Instant games from the Michigan Lottery. With dozens of games to choose from and millions of dollars in prizes, it's instant fun for everyone. Play $6 million wealth with 40 second chance prizes of $50 grand.